Hey, it's Lowry Smith of the CommanderSmiths here with Searching for the Spotlight Isshin again, but this one's going to be the defensive version of it. I have an aggressive version that I really am liking, but it left out a lot of cards that I wanted to play with. So I figured why not just build another deck, right? This one has kind of like when people attack you or they're just attacking and it can double up like they lose life, you gain life, or something else happens. And so I just wanted to use different cards because Ishin's a really cool commander. Like being able to double up, but it's not as easy, or it's using a lot of different cards from like Yarok, which is like doubling up ETBs. Like people play ETBs, but people don't necessarily play the attack trigger deck. This is it. And so it has a lot of cool different cards, and I just want to try and build another deck. One thing to know, I'm going to start just doing part ones. I'm just going to go through cards that I'm considering. I'm going to cut as much as I can, and then a final deck will be revealed later on. I know we've been talking about doing more spotlight decks, like the full thing finalized. We just haven't gotten to that yet. So, um, I should probably plug us. Tags. Commander Smith is a podcast that we go live every Monday or maybe Tuesday sometimes if something's going on Monday night. Then those are fully released on Wednesdays on other platforms, podcast platforms, non visual. We are also on TikTok, where we do curated that comes out on YouTube here as well, which is just a little short about a card that I wanted to talk about. Adam is my co-host, and he is fantastic as well. He'll do proxies sometime, not a lot anymore, but he also we're starting to do more and more gameplay and along with the decks that we're building here. So if you wonder how these kind of decks do, you can watch them later on in a few weeks at this point because we want to feature those decks a bit more. Um yeah, we have a Patreon, an awesome Discord. It's $1 to get into the Discord, and we give away proxies to other people that are at higher levels. Whatever you choose, the ones that Adams makes, pretty much. Sometimes there's giveaways randomly, and we open a box and we battle box. That's something that we did last week for the new set, Dominaria United. That's about it. Oh, advice I would say if you're not watching this live, you can probably go up to 1.5 speed. You can get all the information, cool card ideas, hopefully that you're getting from this, or any other things. But it doesn't take, this might go 2 to 3 hours. We'll see how long. But with this new style, I want to get it to a point where I like it, even though there's going to be a bunch of cards in 3 color decks. Generally, I run about 38 land. And that's where I like to be. Sometimes I get greedy and go down to 37, and I'll go 36 with 2 colors and probably 1 colors. I haven't made a 1 color monocolor deck in a long time. And so, yeah, appreciate you coming out. Give it a like or subscribe if you enjoy it at any point. You're like, oh, this guy funny or whatever people think other people are. Let's read Isshin. All right. So Isshin is red, white, black, 3/4 human samurai. If a creature attacking would cause a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That's what people think. Oh boy, this guy sure is handsome. So, one thing that I'm going to address right away is I forced goad into my other version and I took it out just for this because I think goading is going to work better in a defensive version rather than an aggressive version. And so I kind of took those cards out. So there's the first couple, I might have to go get a couple more just to make the goading a little bit more of a theme. But Vengeful Ancestor, that has flying, and whenever ETBs or attacks, goad target creature, which is twice, and then whenever a goaded creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to its controller, which is another attack trigger, and it'd be 2 damage. So That's pretty sweet, and I think really like that. Kazool, Tyrant of the Cliffs is another one I cut from there. So whenever anybody attacks you, you create a 3/3 ogre unless they pay 3, which means 2 or 6 mana, and that's for each creature. It's a fantastic card in decks in general, but very good here. And since this is more defensive, I moved that out of that other deck. Um, Karazakar, the Eye Tyrant. Whenever you attack a creature or a player, tap target creature that player controls and goad it, which would happen twice. And whenever an opponent attacks another one of your opponents, you and that attacking player each draw a card and lose 1 life, which would happen twice also. So lots of cool interaction right there. Spectacular Showdown is just giving all creatures double strike with the overload, and then everybody has to attack, and that's kind of what I'm or is goaded. Everything is goaded. So that's what we're going for there. Mangara the Diplomat is more of a defensive card as well. So whenever anybody attacks you with 2 or more creatures, you're going to draw twice. That's kind of the game there. Just drawing Taunting Cabal. If you attack anybody, it goes a creature, which is twice. Just cheap, aggressive, keeps people away from attacking you so quick. One thing that you'll notice a little bit in here too, I'm kind of Voltroning Isshin. I want him to be more of the attacker. I'm not worried about as many other creatures doing it, but they can. Sup, Jesus. I should say, hey, Renshai as well. I appreciate you at all times. Uh, Chief Jim Hopper. So I was pulling a lot of cards for the other deck. Actually, I think this is the aggressive version because this allows each time you attack with a creature, you're creating 2 clue tokens, and I was looking for ways to draw in there, so that's going to be there. All right, there's going to be Nettling Curse. There's an aura, and then enchanted creature attacks or blocks, its controller loses 3 life. So if they attack with this creature, they lose 6 life, then you can force them to attack. Kind of cool. It's probably not going to work. A Campaign of Vengeance is whenever a creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That is another aggressive card, actually. You control attacks. Yep. So we'll put that over in the aggressive one. All right. General's Enforcer. So Isshin is a human samurai, so he'd get indestructible, and then you can create tokens off of it. Just some protection there. I will have some equipment in here, and the ones that if I need more, I'll add more. So it's kind of like equipment, auras, and like defensive enchantments. So wear and tear is just some basic artifact enchantment removal. Rip apart is more removal. Ryu, Storm's Edge. Since Isshin is a samurai, if it attacks alone, it gets another attack step, which is pretty cool. And that'd be twice. And I didn't like this is the weird thing here. I did not want to do extra combats in my aggressive version because that can be a lot of triggers and really long turns. So I avoided that. But since this in this deck is just really going to be like Isshin being aggressive as possible, I think that allows me to do extra combat steps and have different triggers. So we'll see where that ends up going. I don't have to do a lot of it, but it works. Fighter class goes and finds me an equipment and lowers the equip cost. I'm down with that. This is the only talisman in here. I'm going to be playing talismans in here, so that's going to take up 3 spots. We'll see where we get with that. Fists of the Demigod. So Isshin's going to get +2/+2 first strike and Wither. So it's going to be really hard to kill when it's that aggressive as well. Akiri, Fearless Voyager. So if it's attacking, you get to draw a card. So that's 2 cards drawn off of Isshin with this in play, and then also gives it a bit more protection with that ability to give it indestructible. Ink Shield is just a defensive card. It gives me a lot of tokens. So if somebody attacks me with a bunch of stuff, I can get a bunch of tokens. Morog, Fury of Okum is landfall, get extra combat steps. So should be nice there. Godo, Bandit Warlord. You may search your library for an equipment, and then whenever it's the first time you each turn, untap all samurai you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Isshin's a samurai, so it get 2. That happens twice. Inferno Titan, instead of 3 damage when it attacks, it's gonna deal 6 damage when it attacks divided, and I did all the Titans. I kind of want to aim to have the Titans in there, probably for a little bit of nostalgia, because I really liked them when I started playing years ago, but they've kind of fallen out of fashion, and they're not as good. They're a little bit slow, but they're still really fun to play with, so I wouldn't mind creating, 4 zombie tokens and stuff like that. So Zerto would be sweet in the list that makes equipment easier to equip, makes clues cost 1 less to crack, 1 to crack. You get a blocker out of the way. That could be true. I don't think I put that on in this list, but I will not have a pen, but I will try and write that down and remember. Thanks for the suggestion. So Inferno Titan. Atali is going to trigger twice, so you're stealing stuff off the top of everybody's library twice. It can be very aggressive. We'll see if I want to go that route in here, though. Normally, I don't like stealing people's stuff because we play it online, and that's a lot harder to deal with. And so that's a maybe. Same thing with Mezio Mugger. It's just a worse version of Atali, but still could be fun. Life of the Party was one that I really wish made the other deck, but it has First Strike, Trample, Haste. It's a 0/1. Whenever Life of the Party attacks, it gets plus X plus O until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control, which won't be huge here, I'll admit. But when Life of the Party enters the battlefield, if it's not a token, each opponent creates a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens are goaded for the rest of the game. And so that can allow for some aggressive plays, and we'll see. This might fit back in there because this is more of an aggressive card, but um, I still really want to play with it. It seems cool. uh, I'm not going to say that. Survivors 4 for an 04 trample myriad. So myriad triggers twice, and then is whenever, as long as it's attacking, it gets plus X plus O, where X is the number of lands defending player controls. And so this could get very, very big. And with multiple of them coming into play, could be really fun. Ember Wild Captain, you get Monarch, and then whenever an opponent attacks you while you're the Monarch, this deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. So that trigger twice if you have Monarch because it's an attack trigger. Bomiko of the Low Blood, it forces everybody to attack. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not, but it's getting everybody to attack even if they don't want to. So a little bit like goading. Rage Nimbus, it has defender and flying, and then you can pay a red and a colorless. Target creature attacks this turn if able. So you can force somebody to attack with something. This one might not make it, but Varchild, Betrayer of Keldor, basically gives people creatures when it deals them damage. You get them later on to get a little bit of an army going. Whenever Varchild dies, could be fun, could be worth it. I like the card. Goblin Spy Master is another one that just kind of forces people to attack. Let's At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player creates a 1/1 red goblin creature token with creatures you control attack each combat if able. And so just forcing people to attack. Bothersome Quasit, Menace. Goaded creatures your opponent's control can't block, and so it makes it easier for everybody to deal damage. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, go target creature an opponent controls. So kind of a cool, nifty card there. Cheering Fanatic, whenever it attacks, name a spell, and those spells cost 2 less whenever you cast them. Kedis is just kind of dealing a lot of damage. It's not an attack trigger. I was just thinking, trying to get Isshin through, but let's actually just cut that right now. Don't like the idea anymore. Let's see here. Organize a little bit. All right, for our child's War Riders, this is Trample Rampage 1. Cumulative upkeep, put a survivor token into play under target opponent's control. Treat this token as 1/1 red creature. And what you want to do is goad or just make sure that you can kind of get through it either way. But it's something to allow things to, combat to start flying around. Goblin Diplomats. Each creature attacks this turn if able, so forcing attacks. Spellbinder is also a whenever it attacks, instants and sorcery spells you cast this turn cost one less. And so it has Encore a little bit later on, but I don't know how many instants and sorceries I'm going to be dealing with. So it might not make that cut. Curse of Opulence is really good in the other deck, but just gains a ton of mana for really cheap. Shiny Impetus was something that I brought back, but it's +2/+2, goads a creature, and whenever it attacks, you're creating 2 treasures, which is nice. So it works double time. Unquenchable Fury is something I want to put on Isshin, and then whenever it attacks, this creature deals X damage to defending player, where X is the number of cards in their hand, which is doubled. And then whenever this is put into the graveyard, bring it back to the hand, so it's kind of always there. War's Toll. Whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, tap all lands that player controls, and if a creature an opponent controls attacks, all creatures that opponent controls attack if able. So kind of nice there as well. Seize the Day allows me to get multiple combat steps with Isshin. Relentless Assault is there for multiple combats with Isshin. Chaos Warp is fantastic removal. Fable of the Mirror Breaker was another one that I liked from the aggressive Isshin, but it's creating 2 treasures with that goblin that is attacking. You may discard 2 cards and then draw 2 cards, then creating a a token of a non-legendary creature, and that's pretty good utility. It's just good utility. It's mana, it's drawing, and then it's also just like copies after that. All right, Guild Artisan. So attacking with Isshin, it'd create 4 treasure tokens. You just got to attack the opponent with the most life. So that's pretty sweet. Twilight's Trickery is some nice protection there. Ordeal of Porphyros. It's an aura, and then whenever it attacks, you put 2 1/1 counters on it, and then if you have 3 or more after that, it sacrifices itself and deals 3 damage to target player. So I have the red, white, and black versions. We'll get there. Smoke. Each player can only untap 1 creature during his or her untap phase. I was thinking this was better for me. I just put it into Bolt's Trickery. Did you do that on purpose? Myriad is an attack trigger, so it would double up. So if you attack 1 person and create 2 tokens, that actually creates 4 tokens, just 2 going at each of them. So that can get real aggressive. But reading through Smoke here, I kind of want people to be able to attack. I was thinking maybe slowing down. That's why I'm not really running any Wraths in here either. So we'll cut that. Psychotic Fury is double strike and drawing a card for Isshin. So just a nice aggressive way for Isshin, but it might go away. Thunderous Might Aura. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is your devotion to red, which would end up being 2, but 4 because of the double trigger. At the very least, it's pretty solid. Yes. I don't have a lot of Myriad. I didn't get that really good one from Baldur's Gate, so I don't have it in this list. So it is not in here. All right. Coastline Marauders. It whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each land defending player controls, and that would be doubled. It has trample, has encore. Probably not good enough, but it could be really aggressive. So I don't know how aggressive we're going to get here. Two-handed axe. Whenever it attacks, it's going to double the power of Isshin twice. So that's going to be real big. Fathom Fleet Swarjack was another one that I wanted in the other deck, but whenever it attacks, it deals damage to the player or planeswalker. It's attacking equal to the number of artifacts I control. And that would be doubled. I don't know how many artifacts are in here, but we're going to have some, ramp, equipment, maybe some treasures going on. So that could be aggressive. Shiny Impetus was already in there, so get rid of it. Vandal Blast is just nice control on everybody's artifacts. Gotta have some type of removal in here, right? Bastion Protector is +3 plus or +2/+2 and indestructible for Isshin as long as this is in play. Great way to protect your commanders. Parhelion is in the aggressive version. Uh, Patron of the Kitsune, 5/6. Whenever a creature attacks that's you or anybody else, you may gain a life, which would be 2. I found it to be kind of expensive, but we'll see where it goes. Sun Titan is going to bring back 2 things when it attacks, and like I said, I want the Titans in there. Wing Mate Rock, I believe, is another aggressive one. If anybody knows how the attack triggers work with raids, since it's kind of a delayed attack trigger, I don't know. I don't know. So, but we'll put that in aggressive one. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Professional Facebreaker and Grim Hireling are in the other Isshin. They don't necessarily work with attack triggers, but they're very nice with such aggressive decks. So yeah, totally agree, but I don't want the crossover. Bishop of Rebirth is just a second version of Sun Titan. It's going to bring stuff back. Creatures. Don't know how many creatures I need or I'm going to be planning on bringing back. So actually, now that I'm saying that, let's bin that one. All right, Enduring Angel, flying double strike. You have hexproof, and if you die, essentially go to 0 life. You're going to flip the card. Flying, you have hexproof. You lose that double strike, but Angel's power and toughness are each equal to your life total. Oh, and your life total goes to 3 when you die. And then whenever it attacks, double your life total. That attack trigger would double twice, so you'd go 3 to 6, 6 to 12, and then start getting out. And this is a 12/12 attacking as well. So, Project X, how you doing, buddy? Herald of the Host is one of those aggressive ones. It is Myriad. We'll put it over on the other deck. We'll see if that can make it over there. All right, Armored Sky Hunter is a big one that I wish could fit in there, but this is what makes me want to do the equipment deck here. So it's 3/3 flyer. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 cards and then look at the top 6 cards. And then you may put an aura or equipment card from among them onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, attach it. This is going to be really aggressive and dig really deep for those auras and equipment. I like it a lot. Keeper of the Court is just going to make sure that I'm not getting run over. I might end up having to put like Ghostly Prison in here as well, but we will see how much people hate it, because there's going to be my aggressive version and people are going to go, is that they're going to associate this with it. So we'll see how. It's just to make sure that I'm keeping up with land and creatures, and it's a nice coverall right there. Seasoned Dungeoneer. Let's read this one. I don't remember what's that kind of doing. All right. Take the initiative. Oh, because there could be a little initiative thing going on. We'll see. Whenever you attack, target attacking cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard gains protection from creatures until end of turn. It explores. I don't hate that. And so that's a lot of exploring. So explores is reveal a top card of your library, put that card into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on that creature and put that card back on top or into the graveyard. So that could be some, getting land off the top of your library, putting +1/+1. I just don't know how many clerics, rogues, warriors, or wizards gain protection. And that'd be like double exploring, I believe. That could be really cool, but it just depends on where we're at. So this would at least double trigger. We'll see how many actually make it. So this one is actually a defensive card, but I might switch it over. But whenever you're attacked, if Revel Squad is untapped, you may untap all your creatures you control. That's pretty cool. I like it. You could definitely brew Isshin dragons. Goldspan dragon, I think is in the other one as well, or got just barely caught or like cut. So it's good. Uh, just don't necessarily want it in this one again. I don't know how treasure heavy I'm going to go in this one, because the other one is treasure based. So I'm going to allow that to be treasure, this to be gold, this to be a little bit more enchantment dependent and Voltron-y, and the other one can be like tokens and being really aggressive and creating treasures, and like I said, just keep on rolling. Bishop of Binding, ETBs, exile a creature. Whenever it attacks, this will get +X until end of turn, where X is the power of the card exiled. And so that'll double trigger. It'll be a huge guy. Kind of like it. It's removal. Gale Powder Mage. Whenever it attacks, double trigger. Remove a creature from the game and then return that card to play under its owner's control. So this is going to be able to remove 2 creatures. It kills tokens and stuff like that. So you can target your own like Dockside Extortionist to re-trigger it. It could do some cool stuff. I talked about this one on the last one. This is another of these cleric, rogue, warrior. So whenever it attacks, this Harper Recruiter. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a cleric, rogue, warrior, and or wizard card from among them and put those cards into your hand, put the rest on the bottom, and then that would trigger again. So if there's enough of those creature types, it could be worth it. And it has flying, so it's well worth it. Custodes Soul Caller. This has melee, so it'll double trigger for as many creatures like that are attacking opponents. It'll get +1/+1. Let's see. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attacked with a creature this combat. So no matter what, this attacks, it gets +2/+2 with Isshin in play, and it'll get 2/4/6 with all of, if you attack everybody. But it brings back also whenever it attacks, return target creature card with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of players you attacked with a creature this combat. So more than likely that's just 3 and 3, so you can double bring that back. A lot cheaper than Sun Titan or that Bishop, but something to think about. Much earlier, Nadar, Selfless Paladin. When it ETBs or attacks, venture into a dungeon. Oh, that's different, isn't it? Dungeon and initiative. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 as long as you've completed a dungeon. Shoot. I don't think either of that. There's just not enough support for either of them and the attack triggers. All right, cutting that. Let's go find that initiative thing. I don't think that's going to work either. Oh, maybe that doesn't matter. Anything else? Maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe I don't care about the initiative. Star Helm Courser. This is just reducing the cost of artifact and enchantment spells. Just a little bit of, ramp, I guess. Sun Gold Sentinel, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. So when it attacks, that's 2. And then you can pay 1 and a colorless, choose a color. Sun Gold Sentinel gains hexproof from color until end of turn and can't be blocked by creatures that color this turn. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. So you're going to be able to start exiling cards. And so could be cool. Starfield Mystic is another one that will reduce the cost of enchantments, and then it gets bigger as like auras are killed and stuff like that. Loyal Warhound, Knight of the White Orchid are just ETBs getting land into play. Swift Recon, it's a decent removal card, but if somebody goes to remove Isshin, I can just plop this on there, and then it's kind of like an enchantment just sitting there. Kind of sucks if I Voltroned it up a bit, but maybe it's not that bad. I'm gonna take a quick drink. All right. So Archaeo's Answers map is probably going to be solid ramp. Robe of Stars is something to protect Isshin. I don't know. Now that I'm sitting here kind of doing it, I don't know if I want to phase Isshin out because that means that he's not doubly triggering, even if somebody's trying to get rid of it. Maybe it's better if I do indestructible or probably hexproof out of that. Indestructible is more than likely what is going to be most helpful. So I think I'm going to cut that right off the top. All right. Righteous Cause. Whenever a creature attacks, you gain 1 life, and that's any creature, anywhere, amount. So if somebody attacks other people with 5 creatures, you're gaining 10 life. That's pretty sweet. Isshin is a 3/4. there, Jesus. So on Sarah's Wings is an aura giving Isshin +1/+1, flying, vigilance, and lifelink, everything that he does not have already. And I think it'd be a big bonus there. Search Supremacist, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, investigate. So that would double trigger with those attacks and get you a bunch of clues. Path of Bravery, whenever one or more creatures you control, that is going in the aggressive one, or going to try. So thorough investigation is an enchantment. Whenever you attack, investigate, which is, twice per turn. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, venture into the dungeon. So this feels like something that I could go through quickly in this deck so far. I don't hate it. Shielded by Faith is something that can give Isshin indestructible. Orum's Prayer, it's whenever anybody attacks you, you gain a 1 life, double trigger. Not too bad. Ordeal of Heliod is the whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it, which is double triggered. And then if you have 3 or more, sacrifice it. Whenever you sacrifice Order of Heliod, you gain 10 life. And I was just thinking that having the ordeals in here could be kind of cool. Inviolability, prevent all damage that would be dealt to enchanted creature. Like that. Hyena Umbra is +1/+1 for strike and totem armor. So if it's destroyed, sacrifice this instead. Imperial Subduer. Whenever a samurai Isshin attacks alone, tap target creature you don't control. So that taps twice. Tapping is mediocre. It'd be better if I goaded or something. I already talked my way out of it. I don't like that one. All right, Restoration of Igonjo is here basically for the backside. Whenever it attacks or blocks, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token, which is the aggressive one. So I think that might have a shot in the aggressive one. But Grave Titan creating tokens. Like I said, I wanted it in here. Gorex Tomb Shell, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you may exile any number of creature cards from your graveyard. The spell costs 2 less for each one you do, it has Death Touch. And then whenever it attacks or dies, choose a card at random, exiled with Gorex, and put that card into the owner's hand. So you could pay black, get a 4/4, and you have 3 creatures. You attack with it once, you get 2 of those randomly into your hand, and it dies and you get it back. Could be kind of cool. I like the idea of it. Nephirox, Overlord Grixis. It has Exile Exalted, which it's an attack trigger, so that would double trigger. And then whenever it attacks alone, defending player sacrifices a creature. I believe that's another attack trigger, and so they'd sacrifice 2 triggers. Now has to attack alone, which is a bit of what I'm doing with Isshin, so it might not really work together. And again, 6 mana is competing with the Titans, which I kind of think I want in here as a bit of a theme anyway. So it might not fit in here. The Haunt of Hightower, 3/3 flying lifelink. Whenever it attacks, defending player discards a card, which is double triggered. And then whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a 1/1 counter on Haunt. And whenever Adam plays this card, it gets so huge. And I feel like disrupting people's hands. But again, that mana cost is gonna kind of compete. We'll see what actually. Inner Demon gives Isshin +2/+2 flying, turns it into a demon, and then all other non-demon creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Nice way to kind of kill off tokens and give Isshin some pop. I've liked the card. It's done some work for me in the past. Curse of the Shallow Graves. And whenever a player attacks enchanted player with 1 or more creatures, that attacking player may put 2/2 black zombie creatures into the battlefield tapped. And that's kind of what you want to be doing anyway. So this is the bad version. I don't know if this will make it, but it'll be interesting. Ordeal of Erebos. So same thing. Whenever you attack, put 1, 2 counters on it. If there's 3 or more on it, you sacrifice it. Whenever you sacrifice it, target player discards 2 cards. So that could be anybody. Kind of like the ordeals in here, just as something that I don't use a lot. I think the green one's really good in those +1 counter decks because it's 2 mana, go get 2 mana, like 2 basic lands into play tapped is pretty good. Elder Brain, whenever it attacks a player, exile all cards from that player's hand. Then they draw that many cards, and then they do it again. You may play lands and cast spells from among the exiled cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. So I think if Itali makes it, I think Elderbrain also makes it. And so those might be the two. Like they're huge amount of like just card advantage because you're just seeing so many cards that way. And that is how they might make it. Cunning Rhetoric. Whenever an opponent attacks you and or one of your planeswalkers, exile the top card of that player's library, which would double trigger. You may play that card as long as it remains exiled. Sub all the ace. Just building some defensive Isshin, going through the cards right now. You missed all of that. So Cunning Rhetoric would make it so that they are removing the top 2 cards from their library. And again, if Elder Brain and Itali make it, Cunning Rhetoric, I think, makes it as well. Reaper's Talisman. Whenever equipped creature attacks, it gains that part. Whenever equipped creature attacks alone, defending player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Now, this is more aggressive and it fits more the aggressive theme, but I'm planning on attacking alone with Isshin. All right, I'm talking my way out of it. Double Death Touch, though, is super. No, it's not. All right. Yeah, get rid of that card. Um, so both of these cards, I don't know why I put them in there other than getting tokens from opponent's creatures dying. They don't really fit. I don't know if I really like at this point. I don't have any wraths, so it doesn't really matter. Let's get rid of them. Curse of Disturbance, very similar to that other one. So whenever anybody attacks the cursed one, they get 2 zombies, you get 2 zombies, and it's nice and cheap. All right, Hissing Miasma. Whenever a creature attacks you, its controller loses 1 life. They lose 2 on the double trigger. Marchesa's Decree is also Monarch again, and then whenever it attacks you, that creature's controller loses 1 double trigger, 1 life. Ravens, Revenge of the Ravens. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's double triggered. And that's for every creature. All of these are. So this adds up quite a bit. Parasitic Impetus. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. And whenever it attacks, that controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. And that's a double trigger. Blood Reckoning. Enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life, double triggered. Crown of Doom allows me to be a bit more aggressive. And this double triggers on anybody, but whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So that's a double trigger. But you can give that, and target player other than Crown of Doom's owner gains control of it. They can't give it back to me, and then activate this ability only during your turn. So I play it for 3, take 2, pawn it off to somebody, attack them. All my creatures get +4/+0. They might try and pawn it off, and then they attack, and that doubles triggers because this is your own thing. This can speed up a game quite a bit. I like it quite a bit. Farsight Mask. Whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you, if Farsight Mask is untapped, you may draw a card. I think I was thinking I'm not going to have enough blockers. I think there's enough here to maybe people have not attacked me. And so this might go better in my drawing in the aggressive version. That might be better over there. Haunted Cloak. So Isshin gets Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Makes sense to me. Mirage Mirror. you know, why Mirage Mirror, I should consider the card a lot more than I do. So it can be good, turn it into another enchantment and maybe scare somebody off from attacking me. Key the city, tap it. Isshin is an unblockable. When it untaps, pay 2, draw a card. Not too bad. Ooh. So you're going Jesus is going right after that Isshin Dragons deck. You're gonna have to tell me how many dragons actually have attack triggers? Maybe it doesn't matter. Helm of the Host, make more Ishins. That sounds good to me. Wayfarer's Bauble is just some good ramp. Signet is good ramp. Lightning Greaves protection. Tome of Legends doubles triggers for drawing. So this is when it ETBs, it gets a page counter on it. And then whenever your commander enters the battlefield or attacks, that attack would double trigger, but put a page counter on Tome of Legends. Pay 1, tap it, remove a page, draw a card. So it's solid draw. I like it. Swiftfoot Boots for protection. Trepidation Blade. 3 to come out, 2 to equip. Whenever equipped creature attacks, defending player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a land card. The creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. For each card revealed this way, that player puts the revealed cards into his or her graveyard. That would happen twice. So Isshin could get pretty big. Could be fun. Mindstone's Ramp. Power Matrix is another one of those. Tap. Target creature gets +1/+1, gains flying, first strike, trample until end of turn. Pretty nice for Isshin. Angel's Trumpet. 3 mana artifact. Attacking does not cause triggers to tap. At the end of each player's turn, tap all untapped creatures he or she controls that did not attack this turn. Angel's Trumpet deals 1 damage to that player for each creature tapped this way. Just another way of forcing everybody to attack. Sensei's Top. Sword of the Animus is a double trigger for the basic lands. Really, really good. Ornithopter of Paradise is just nice ramp. I kind of put in everything that's non-green. Soul Ring is nice ramp. Argentum Armor is 6 mana, 6 to equip, gets +6/+6, and whenever it attacks, destroy target permanent. That is anything. That's lands. You could just start eating away at somebody's lands. It's pretty sweet. Explorer's Scope. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's land, put it into play tapped. So that can happen twice. Could be fun. And then Captain's Claws. This might be more in the aggressive version as well. Whenever it attacks, put a 1/1 white core. Yeah, that's aggressive. So we'll see if that gets in there. So that's not too bad. We ran through that in about 42 minutes, minus the intro. I never counted how many cards this is. I know there's some talismans that I need to add. Kind of forgot to grab those, but that's okay. So, fat stack. Let's try and start. Let's break this up into groups and see where we're at for draw, ramp, all that kind of stuff. So, ramp, removal, ramp, draw. We'll force attack. We will have kind of a pump and then defensive. Those will be 2 different things because I think there's enough there. Ramp, pump, that's protection. That's draw. I don't know if I'm going to want Greaves either because that Shroud really kind of affects equipment, but I can move it around really nicely. Yeah, we'll see. I appreciate that, Renchai, and it's just fun. It sounds like Jesus is sitting around, kind of building around decks. You want it there and tweak some of your decks. Like we just all sit around and just like tweak decks, and I think that's fun. Signet is ramp, Bobble is ramp, Helm of the Host is an interesting card. We'll go there. I don't know where to put that. That is Voltron protection. Mirage Mirror will be where I don't know. Haunted Cloak is in the Voltron section. Crown of Doom can go in the aggressive section, like having people attack. All right, Blood Reckoning. We can put that at defensive. Parasitic Impetus is Maybe goading. We have a goading section. Is that what we're doing? Revenge of Ravens is protection. Marchessa's Decree. Miasma. Let's see. You know what? Isshin is pretty cool there, Jesus. It's a really, really cool card. And yeah, always fun to tweak. Tweaking is something that I really enjoy, but it's really hard to record it. And like that's kind of what I did with Switcheroo, and that's a little bit of what goes on, but it's not the fine tuning. So I don't even know what to do with this. This is like token making. Maybe that's prevention. No, maybe that's aggressive. That's having people attack. Cutting rhetoric is protection. That's drawing. This is maybe a removal. That's having people attack. That's going to end up being removal. Haunt a High Tower is technically removal with the discard. That's where I put Ordeal. Nephrox is removal. This is technically card advantage. Some of these I don't know if they're going to work very well. All right. Boost. 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 Kind of protection. Maybe there's a difference between what I want to put on Isshin as bumps and then just like defensive pumps. So those two go there. Nice to move around. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, venture into the dungeon. I don't know if I like this card. We'll cut it. But I like this card. So that's protection for the clues. Aggressive, protection, ramp. We'll call that removal. Ramp. Also ramp. Choose a color. Sun Gold Sentinel gains hexproof from that color until end of turn and can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with. So it's something that could get. It's graveyard removal. It has a little bit of like protection, like hexproof from that color, and it's 3/2 for 2. That's an aggressive card. Maybe that goes in more. See if it fits into the aggressive deck a little bit better, although it's not creating tokens or anything. Ramp. Recursion? I don't know. We got a couple of recursion cards because maybe that's where Gorex goes. This is putting cards in the hand. So we'll see where that makes it. This is Gale Powder Mage. That is removal. Bishop of Binding is removal. Revel Squad. Untapping all my creatures. I don't know if I really care about that here. Let's see if I can make that work better in the token version, the aggressive one. This one I still might like. I think it's interesting. We'll put that in the interesting pile. Same thing with Harper Recruiter. It's so very specific. This is more of mana. This is more interesting. Again, this is an interesting one. That is recursion. This is life gain. That's protection, removal, damage. That's a boost. That's a creature with a boost. There. Make that a removal. Ramp. Kind of both as well. I don't know. I never know where to put this card. Like it is ramp and it is draw, but it's not really draw. So maybe that's a better one. It's ramp. Removal. Oh man, there's extra attacks in here too. That's off the board a little bit. Extra attack, forcing attacks, straight up damage. That is there. That is goading, ramp. forcing attacks, giving creatures. Jesus. All right, we're gonna have to reduce the amount of things that are going on. It's a little spread out. Rage Nimbus can just kind of go. I'd rather just have a goaded creature. Miko can go in there. That is protection. That is going wide. This is also, it's giving goaded creatures, but it's just going a little tall. And Atali are draw. This is removal. That is extra attack steps, extra attack. I don't think Ink Shield works here. I don't need that kind of blocking. Like, they come into play tapped. But I'd rather just have the enchantments doing their work, right? Curie is kind of a draw. That is protection. That is ramp. I'll give this into the card advantage section. That's extra attack. That is removal, protection, forcing attacks, goading. That could be a draw. That is goading. That's draw, protection, and goading with the damage. Okay. So we're pretty wide here. This is a lot thicker than I would want. 1, 2, let's go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let's try and cut 3 right now. I think I like Cheering Fanatic for now, but this one, I don't think I have many spells in here. Instant or sorcerer spells. Yeah, okay, so that's 1 cut. You could make this an Isshin Stacks deck if you want. I do not want to make this an Isshin Stacks deck. Don't want to do that. Curse is good. Fable, I think, is good. Guild Artisan, Keeper, Starnheim, Courser, and Starfield Mystic. I don't hate those. Loyal and Knight are Chaomancer's map. Anything that works there. So maybe we cut the Courser and just stick with the cut 2. I like the ETB a bit. Like, I like these guys. They're good. I'm not going to keep up with the green creatures or decks. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17. Sorry. Okay. All right with that. All right. My card advantage is quite low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably something that I can add in just in the lower, like Knight's Whisper, some of the other stuff. Like, I'm not terribly worried about that. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's see. Ezio Mugger. Let's actually read this. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. And if you do, or you may play those cards this turn, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So more than likely, it's probably for the blitz cost. But you got to pay the mana. Woof. I'm probably going to cut that one. But I still like Atali. I like Elder Brain. I like where those are at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where would Isshin go? Or whatever Jesus was saying. Cool ass fox. All right, let's see if there's anything bad in the defensive when they attack you. That's good. That's good. That's a little weak. Might be a little weak. I like Search Supremacist in my mind. Oh, that is draw. That's technically draw. We can go through there. Technically, draw. Card advantage. stealing. They lose 1 life, lose 1 gain. Alright. I think these probably are just too high on the 5 and 6 mana, so let's just cut those right now. I can always rethink and look at those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then technically I brought those over to card advantage to up that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Working my way up there. All right, let's look at removal. Wear tear. Rip apart is 3 damage or artifact enchantment. Inferno Titan's nice. Chaos Warp, yeah, it's both trickery, should be in protection, but it would get lost in there. Vandal Blast is nice removal. I like Bishop of Binding. Swift reconfiguration kind of doesn't feel right there. And maybe I'm giving my stuff like indestructible and or hexproof or shroud or whatever, doing that enough that it doesn't necessarily matter. um a braid over rip apart because it's easier to cast, but you can't hit enchantments. And I already really don't have any way to deal with enchantments. I also don't really have a problem with red white generally. I don't play a lot of things that are super heavy. I don't have anything over 2 pips of one color in here. It's a consideration though. Um yeah, I have wear and tear, rip apart, and that is it. Chaos warp that can deal with enchantments. I think I cut swift reconfiguration. I don't think it just doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right there. Um oh, you like a braid a lot? Okay. Like I understand that. I think it's a good card. I haven't really ever played it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if Rip Apart makes it either. Like probably just doesn't, but we'll see. Inferno Titan I like, Chaos Warp, Trickery, Vandal Blast, Bishop of Binding. 1, 2, those on top. 3 don't make a ton of sense. Ordeal. I like the ordeals. I kind of want them in here for some weird reason. I don't think I'm going to force people to have enough stuff go into their graveyard. So Haunt probably doesn't work here. Nephrox. Like I'm going to be trying to build up Isshin. And so if I drop Nephrox, then I'm not attacking with Isshin. Probably cut there as well. I still like the idea of Gale Powder Mage, even though I don't have many ETB creatures. Like obviously Dockside is missing. And I don't know if I care. Like Dockside's really fucking good. Yeah, I understand like that part, but like Rip Apart is 1 white over a colorless and is able to hit an enchantment. Like that flexibility comes in the white being added. Um, but that can, in high powered, you might be a little tighter on your mana as well. So I think I'm okay with the removal package at this point. Yeah, I was doing extra. Boom, boom. That's a lot right there. That's a lot. I might not want to touch that until the end. All right. Recursion. I don't hate either of these. Like, I think Sun Titan over Gorex, but 8 mana. Woof. Let's cut Gorex. I think Sun Titan keeps. Soul Caller is in there still as well. Let's take a look at these extra attacks. I like Seize the Day in here, like, because it's very specific to Isshin. Yeah. Yep. Totally agree. I like Seize the Day in here, and I like Ray Yu. And maybe we just keep it at that. Like if I get those extra combat steps, then that's cool, but it doesn't have to be an extra combat step deck. I like that this can go and find an equipment though. Oh shit. But it goes infinite with the helm. I don't like going infinite if you're new to listening to the stuff. So I try and avoid that kind of thing. But all right. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for an equipment card and put it into the battlefield. If you do, shuffle your library. I don't want to run the Helm Godo combo. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. I'm okay with Godo. Let's cut these two at this point. We don't need a ton of them. Still like the idea of giving people creatures, but it might not be these. I'm not going to cut them, but I like that for now. All right, let's look at this next batch. So I got goading, protection, kind of left to look at. I like life of the party. I don't have a lot of creatures, but there's enough creatures in here. Like it's not going to be disrespectful or anything. Theirs cannot attack mine, which is kind of nice. First strike, trample, haste. I kind of like that. And maybe going back to the combo, maybe I should think about running it at least because this is more of a defensive deck. But I'm hoping that the goading forces people to attack me and that drains their life. That's kind of the thought process that I'm having. I'm gonna have a bit more goad, I think. I don't think I have revelry in here, but life of the party seems cool. I think maybe I think both of these can kind of get cut. They can be huge. This one, I think Coastline Marauders does get cut. I don't think that makes it at all. Number of lands defending player controls. That's big. Like that could be really scary in my mind. That might be worth a shot. I don't know how many artifacts I'm having. I think this gets cut at this point. I like the idea of Enduring Angel. I like that. Armored Sky Hunter wants to be in. Harper Recruiter and Season Dungeon Near. Parasitic Impetus and Grave Titan are in. We're already saying Helm of the Host is in. I like Mirage Mirror, but let's cut these two just because I don't know where the creature type is. It's not really that kind of deck. My commander really isn't there. So I don't think that's going to work really well. All right, let's look at the goading and forcing combat aspect of this. I like Vengeful Ancestor. Spectacular Showdown is there. I like the idea of taunting Kobold. Nettling Curse, probably. I think that just gets cut. I think it's cool, but too cute. Fumiko makes sense. I don't have any problem with that. Goblin Spymaster, I might have a problem with that. The beginning of each opponent's end step, that player creates a 1/1. Attack each turn. Fumiko becomes a really good blocker. Goblin Spymaster, not so much. Let's cut that. Bothersome makes sense here. Diplomats don't really do anything. I don't know if I like the idea of them. I like Shiny Impetus. I like War's Toll. Crown of Doom. I'm scared about these. Maybe those are the more reasonable giving creatures away type thing, right? So we have 4. Let's think about Angel's Trumpet. It's either if they want to sit back, they take damage, and if they attack, I'm already forcing them to attack, so maybe that doesn't matter. Giving their everything vigilance makes it tougher for my stuff to get through, though. I think that's the biggest drawback there. Let's cut Angel's Trumpet. I want Angel's Trumpet. That's all right. I just worked my way there. What's the reasoning there, Weber? I'll leave it there, but tell me why. Tell me why. All right, so giving creatures. Let's see here. Oop, we'll just put that there. We like those. So right now, I'm thinking of these are cards that can give creatures. Do I even like any of them? Should I just be assuming that other people are going to play creatures? Yeah, but having them not tap makes it so that it's harder to like attack through. And so only bigger creatures kind of survive, if that makes sense. And if I'm building up Isshin, that works a ton. Yeah. I have plenty of other cards. I think I have plenty of other cards that are just gonna, I think, do a better job with the attack spot. I think I keep Varchild that allows me to be aggressive and not necessarily dependent on what other people are doing or what they have. That is a shot, but I like that these can't attack me. Can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. Yeah. And then when this dies, I get all the survivors. All right. We'll put that in the unique pile. I ain't sending that shit to you. I love that card. It's gorgeous. Old foils are gorgeous. All right. So essentially we're getting some work in here. I'm all right with this at this point. Let's just so that we can see it one more time. Ooh. That is gorgeous. All right, protection. This one's fat. Let's kind of pick this up. I'll do a count after this initial cut, making it a little clean. It's not feeling not so fat. All right, General's Enforcer. That's indestructible. Pump. I like the damage. I like the damage that this can be doing right when it comes into play. 3 damage to target creature player. So I guess that kind of lays into removal. And we could put that in the removal section. We'll put that one in there. I'm like I said, I like the ordeals. It might be too cute for what I'm hoping for. Give me a second. Oop. Double strike and a draw. I'm not. I kind of like the draw, just that little cantrip. Doubling power. Indestructible. Random ass, like good stuff. That's protection. Indestructible. This is just 10 life. See, this is where the cracks in the ordeals. One's discard 2 cards, one is 3 damage to a creature or player, and then this one is gaining 10 life. Do I care? Do I even care about like the discarding? The 3 damage is cool. All right, we're cutting the ordeals. We're just going to go through and cut the ordeals. If we're not going to have all 3, I don't want any of them. All right, that's where we're at. If we're not going to, we're zero sum stuff here. All right, Ordeal, Perforos, and Ordeal of Erebos. We'll cut all 3 of them. Makes it easier that way anyway. All right. Prevent all damage. We'll put that in the indestructible part? Question mark. Quick pump. We can give that a quick pump. That is unblockable. This is a huge, like, double power thing. Singular. It's kind of like big time damage there. Unblockability. All right, what don't I like? I like those. I like doubling a power that can get stuff really aggressive. Kind of like all those. Shoot. All right. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I like General's Enforcer. I don't think I like Inviolability. Another very pretty foil, but I think we cut those two at least. Ugh. So it turns him into a 5/6 aggressor. Do I care about the double strike? Like, are people going to be blocking them? Or am I able to get it through? No, probably not. I'm probably not going to be able to get them through. Let's do Psychotic Fury as well. Cut. All right, we're doing all right. Let's give a count. I don't even know where we're at. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30. 60. 61 is where I want to be. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 over so far. Not 2.5 bad. We're at hour 11. Not too bad at all. All right. What do we want to do here? Let's look at our CMC. Let's look at our CMC a little bit here. Old foils are so sexy though. Whew. Get you all hot. Let's see here. All right. 4, 2. It's so sexy. It's too sexy. That's right. 3, 5, 6, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 6, 6, 4. I think that 6 spot's going to be fatter than I'm used to. That's going to be a little bit of my problem. 3, 4, 3, 4, even though that's fatter, so we'll go up to 9. 2, 4. We don't want to. That's a 5 spot. 3, 3, 3, 4. 4s. 6 and 6. It's 2. Zerda. What I want to be. This is a high 7 spot. That's another 7 spot. 4, 1, 2, 6, 3, 2. That's a 5 spot. 3, 3, 4. 2, 2, 2. 1, 4, 5. 3 and 2. Not too bad. 3 and 2. 2, 2, and 1. I don't necessarily hate anything here so bad. Cut all the good stuff. No. It's not the worst part. It's just figuring out the mold, making sure that it's not too similar to another deck, especially like you don't want one of your Isshin decks to be like your other Isshin deck. And so you want to make sure that you have enough differences. Look, I want to play the Titans. You missed the beginning. but in general, it might just be a cut. It's it's off. It's just a cycle I want to play with. Okay, let's go through this. You force Titans. You force a will or you force them in decks? I like the Taunting Kobold. Aina Umbra, I'm down. Curse. Boom, boom, boom. I don't hate any of those. I don't dislike them. Off to the side. Normally I go top down though. Okay. 7. Elder Brain, Showdown, Helm of the Host. I'm down with those at this point. I'm not cutting Soul Ring. Come on. Fine. I think you're right. Grave Titan should go. This is not my token deck. It did not make the token deck, and I'd rather have like Itali, Elder Brain, Godo. You're right. You're right. You're right. Inferno Titan might get the cut too. You can spread out a lot of damage. I like that part, but maybe I don't want to kill other people's stuff. Damn it. Cut. All right. Armor makes sense. Godo's good in here. Sun Titan is recovering equipment or whatever. Natali is getting ahead. We're good with there. Adam's super right. Actually, I got a huge shit show down there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. It's not anymore. Let's just say that. All right, because Kazool is crazy in here, makes the cut. Vandal Blast, yeah. Crown of Doom, yeah. And Kazakhstar. All right, Enduring Angel feels like I'm going to be able to get away with it being awesome, because when it flips, power and toughness are each equal to your life total. Whenever it attacks, double your life total. And so it saves me, or it doesn't. It's just a 3/3 flying double strike. Makes it so people can't target me. And then it attacks. I go from 3 to 6 and then 6 to 12. And it hits for 12. All right. You agree with that? I think it's cool. It's that 3 white kind of gets me, but I'm down with keeping it around right now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's I'm not going to repeat that. All right. One spot. All right. We're in the 4s. Gale Powder Mage. I don't have a lot of ETBs. I wouldn't it's nice to remove things from what's going on, but I don't think it works. I don't think it does its best work in this deck. Keeper of the Court is just to make sure that I'm staying there. Marchesa's Decree makes sense. Yes, yes. Famiko. Yes, yes, yes. Famiko is a maybe, but I like that force, but it's not goading. That's the problem. I like those. Inner Demon could go. I like the idea of Bishop of Binding. That is a blinker, but it could an ETB until it leaves the graveyard or the battlefield, and then whenever it attacks, it gets +X/+X, where it's the power. That could get big. Question mark? Question mark? I like the attack trigger on it. I like the power matrix as like War's Toll. I think I'm going to try and get Life of the Party over in the other deck. I do like it. It probably doesn't work here. Vengeful Ancestor makes a ton of sense. Armored Sky Hunter I want in here. I'm going to have to go through and look at my equipment though. Yeah, Power Matrix is sweet. Seize the Day makes sense to me. Ryu makes sense. Magda makes sense. And these might just be the ones that go. Yeah, I like it because it's a huge blocker as well. Famiko. And so it's forcing everybody to attack, and they can attack me. That's a little bit of the problem with the goading part, is that they can't attack you until the end. Um, there's no there's I'm gonna cut on Sarah's wings and Inner Demon. There is no attack triggers on them, and they're 4 mana. They're kind of competing for a big spot there. I think it's going to be kind of an aggressive spot, and that's an aggressive card, the survivors. So I think I'm going to cut that. You're right, Renshai. Disrupt Decorum is not in here. And you're right. I need to get it over here. Let's go, Fumiko. I'm gonna go. Let me get through this. So I want Zerta, Disrupt Decorum, and then I want my 2 other talismans at least. So I'm gonna quick grab them right this second. Fine, I'll get them. It's totally that totally works, doesn't it? All right, Disrupt Decorum. We'll see. I think I had it out, and I don't know why it's not in there. Ooh, foil version. Put that there. Yeah, I am pretty sure. Uh-oh. I was staring at Disrupt Decorum. I was kind of surprised that it wasn't actually on that list. Let's see here. That's another one that I wanted on. All over the place. Okay, not that. Let's see here. I don't know why Disrupt Decorum is not there. Literally staring at it. Okay. I don't know. Let's go find my other version. All right, go after Zerta. All right, red, white. Let's keep this actually on top just in case I can't find the talismans, like if I'm running out or something. All right, Zerta. And talisman, come on. Let me see those talismans. Nope. Okay, that's why it didn't show up. All right, we'll use a signet in its stead. So black, white, red, black. That's right there. All right. All right. I think that's everything that I've talked about so far that I want to add in. I'm glad that I went through. I kind of had that in the wrong spot. So Disrupt Decorum goes in. Talisman of Indulgence is going in. Signet should be in Zerta in the 3 spot. uses those clues quite efficiently, like Jesus was. Yes, Kazool is in there, Mr. Weber. All right, we have the deck half-assed together. All right, Zerta. I like Zerta. It's going to reduce the cost of those equipment along with the clues. I'm down. I like the idea. Two-handed axe doubles the power, so makes Isshin pretty aggressive. Trepidation blade is kind of a weird mill, but it could get really big. Like it's so this is 3 to 6, 6 to 12. So his power is 12-4. That's pretty good. Trepidation blade is likely, I guess not quite that, but it's milling. We'll cut that. I don't think that works. I don't think it works in here. There's no other milling aspect in here. Maybe it worked with Haunt of Hightower, but there just isn't enough there. Map makes a ton of sense. Hissing Miasma and Arim's Prayer both make sense. Chaos Work, yes. Wear and Tear, yes. Cunning Rhetoric. Haunted Cloak gives Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Do I care about that? The haste parts could be good, like the extra stuff. Vigilance, Trample. How much do I care about that? Is there something else that I could like more? I don't know. What is your opinion on Haunted Cloak? Let me know. We'll cut it for now, and unless somebody says that they like it. I like Unquenchable Fury. I think that's going to be nice and aggressive and start having people like just going after people with large hands. Makes a ton of sense to me. And I just couldn't fit it into the other one. Like I really liked it over there, but it just wasn't able to work. Um oh, you're saying so good for Haunted Cloak. All right, I'm down. All I need, oh, Fury is so good. I all right. Haunted Cloak is in for now. Shielded by Faith should be nice. Should get protect Isshin for a while. Bastion Protector, +2/+2 and indestructible is hard to beat. That's a 3/3 for 3. Not bad. Mirage Mirror can Brutal Horde Chief is in the other deck, and I don't that is one of the main ones, so I don't want to overlap in that aspect for sure. And that's just much more of this. So this version is defensive, much more like controlling combat. If people want to attack me, then they can. That's why Fumiko is good, and that's a little bit why goading doesn't work, but also works in the long run. Mirage Mirror can copy one of those enchantments that I like. Bothersome makes it so that their stuff can't block if they're goaded, and it's also nice for goading. Shiny Impetus is a goader. Parasitic Impetus is a goader. Varchild can make things aggressive, but maybe. All right, let's reread that. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player creates that many 1/1 red survivor creature tokens. And then survivors your opponents control can't block, and they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. When this leaves the battlefield, gain control of all survivors. I don't know if Duelist Heritage really makes it here. It's a really good Voltron card, though. That's a good point. Um, hmm, if I feel like I need it, I can. I think it could be considered later. I think I'm going to cut Varchild as well. Um, just not really doing enough. Custody Soul Caller. I don't like invasion plans. Custodes Soul Caller can bring back creatures. It's a cleric, but I can get big. So no matter what, it'd be a 2. It turned into a 3/4. Still don't hate it. Fable is not bad. And Akiri, whenever you attack a player with one or more equipped creatures, draw a card. And then you may unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible until end of turn. I also kind of like that. I don't like the unequipped part, but drawing a card is pretty nice. Boros Signet, Talisman. There should be another one. All right. Since this is a new one, I'll read that. So for 2, it's a background, but commander creatures you own have whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. It gains Death Touch, indestructible. And so it's 2 counters on it. Double Death Touch, double indestructible. Nice and cheap, and allows me to be aggressive with Isshin. I like it. Guild Artisan makes a ton of sense for me in here. That's a weird. Ornithopter of Paradise, yeah. Sword of the Animus is crazy. Mind Stone, yeah. Thunderous Might allows me to be aggressive. Key to the City is unblockable. Swiftfoot Boots, Greaves, Talisman. Let's get that in with the originals. Whew. All right, ETB on Loyal Warhound and Knight of the White Orchid. Starfield of Mystic. I don't hate it. We got the foil version in there now. Tibalt's Trickery. Signet goes in. I like Fist of the Demigod. Tome of Legends. Fight a Class makes sense. Cheering Fanatic. Like, there's just no way that survives. Like, it's not real ramp. It's just for 1 turn. Is that a Don't You Dare Cut Trickery? All right. I do have Emberwild Captain in here. I believe that's the card's name. At least. Yep. There it is. Shiny version as well. Just to piss off Renshai, I'm going to cut Trickery. Pew pew. Rip Apart is a nice flexible card. I think. Oh man. I think Cheering Fanatic goes away. It's still something that I consider, but like I'm focusing on Isshin, and nothing really works with Cheering Fanatic. I don't know. Rip Apart. I have very little removal at this point. All right, we'll keep it for now. Soul Ring, yeah. Explorer Scope, yeah. Bobble, yeah. Curse and Top, yeah. I like Kobold. It's cheap. It double, it's an attack trigger, double goads. And Hyena Umbra. That's a protection piece for Isshin, just in case somebody wants to Wrath. It's nice and cheap. Let's see where we're at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. $30. Hellrider's in the other deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $30. I count that right? Yeah. So that's 61. So 13. So got about 9, 8, 9. Cripes all fighty. All right. So 18 to cut. We're not doing too bad. We're at an hour and a half. Moving quite quick. All right. We just did CMC. We have, let's see where we're at, I guess, in card types. So enchantments, creatures, all that jazz. And just see if there's anything that we can lean into. I know we're going to be pretty high enchantment based this time, more than I like playing enchantments more than the next person, but I still am going to be a bit higher than I normally am. Sorta sorcery creatures. There we go. It's probably another reason that I want these in there, just to have a little bit more creature interaction. It's an enchantment. That's a good point. I don't really have the ETBs. That's an enchantment. I should creatures. Let's see here. Think a little bit. Oh. Kazool. Boom. Yeah. All right. Pretty high on there on the enchantments. I think that just took away from all the creatures. Very low spell count. Or like instant sorcery spell. That's 3 instants. 1, 2, 3, 4 sorceries. I don't have any problem with them. I think they're all good. But I'm almost debating on taking those out, which I don't think I want to at this point. I need some flexibility. I don't have a lot of removal when it comes to non-creature permanents. Or even creatures. I'm going to get older. Dolmen Gates in the other deck. That's a lot more. You're thinking aggressive, Mr. Weber. This is a bit more of a defensive deck that's going on. All right. I don't hate those. Let's look at our creatures. That's enough. Sun Titan. Like, I don't have a lot of cards to bring back, that I'm purposely putting there. Fetches, Mind Stone. Probably Bobble. That's it though. Oh, auras. Bringing back auras might not be a bad deal though. That could be a good point with Sun Titan, like being able to. It doesn't bring back a lot of these creatures, but the auras or enchantments, but the auras will come back, and I like that. Okay. Rakasha Debaser. Is that the one that brings creatures back from opponents' graveyards? And it has Encore? I do not. Fervor? Give everything haste? I don't think I need that here. I think I have 3 bits that give haste with Boots, Greaves, and Cloak. All right, let's look at the equipment. I like it. All right. I should look at how many equipment and auras I have as well. So I should, before I put this all together, I should look at that. I like Key to the City, just able to get things through a bit more. Yeah. No stay. I like Tome. Power Matrix. Equipment. Rajmir might just not be needed. Let's see here. Target artifact, enchantment, or creature, or land until end of turn. I'll have to look at how many cards. Like Power Matrix, I think is good, but it might not fit the artifact or like equipment or a deal. 6, 7, 8. 8 equipment. Let's see here. Looking for auras at that point. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's enough, I'd say. Isshin Samurai Tribal. I think there was enough support for that Renshai in Neon because there's a lot like if you attack with a samurai alone and that kind of shit. Like it works. There, I don't know if there's enough of it, but you're kind of making a block commander deck with Godo in there a little bit. So think of it a little bit like that. Fighter class ETBs, search your library for an enchantment card, then you can pay 3. Cost by 2. 2 less to activate, so that can be for free. What do we got here? I should also check on this compared to the other one. Okay, so that'd be red. That's free. That needs a reduction anyway. 6. That'd be nice for a reduction. Free, free, free. But being able to go and get like Argentum armor makes a ton of sense. Fable of Mirror Breaker, I think is good. Agent of Shadow Thieves, I think it's perfect in this deck. Same thing with Guild Artisan. Archessa's Decree. Yeah. That's kind of what I want the deck to be doing. All right, War's Toll. Whenever an opponent taps a land, they tap it all. Whenever they attack with it all. I like it. 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 I like all of those. Shit. Okay. So for the impetuses, I want to be checking on the wording for the go-getter armor. Okay. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put an aura equipment card from among them onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, is put on the battlefield this way. You may attach it to a creature you control. Put the rest of those cards on the bottom. So I can put this onto the battlefield. This can go on any creature that I so wish. And I still get the trigger either way, like if I'm attacking with my own stuff. But I like the goad. All right. So that works. I was just making sure it didn't state like onto your own creatures for all of it. Okay, so like I said, these are instant sorceries. I dig them. They stay. Not really getting any cuts in for this one. Is there anything that I absolutely hate? Like maybe they just don't work? Yeah, I think Cloak makes a ton of sense in here. It allows me to like those doubling. So Thunderous Might, two-handed axe, like the trample is going to be really nice there. Sort of the Animist is great. These make a ton of sense. The goading. Hyacinth Umbra's maybe the only one that I'm considering on cutting, but I don't really want to do that right now. We're going to have to go through and creatures. I don't want to cut a lot of these because maybe I do. I don't know. Tali, Sun Titan. We're going to go through and see what all is there. How many are you looking to cut now? I think I'm still around 18. 18-ish. Hard keep on the War's Toll. So I like these. Ornithopter Paradise is solid. Like it doesn't need to be as aggressive in here as it was. But it's a nice ramp card. Knight of the White Orchid, Elder Brain. All cards from that player's hand. Godo. enables the combo with Helm. I don't know if I love that. Enters the battlefield, go and find an equipment. And then whenever go to it, attacks for the first time, each turn, untap it, and all samurai you control after this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Okay. And so that would trigger twice with Isshin. Okay. And that's search your library for the equipment card, put it on the battlefield. So that's kind of like a lot. That's 11 mana you would need. Okay. I still like the idea of enduring angel, like gets you out of pickles and stuff like that. Still might not matter. Like it's really end game-ish, but I like it. I still want that hanging around. Keeper seems like a solid card. Custody Soul Caller. Creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. It's not going to be nearly as good if I just don't have that many creatures. Yeah, 7 mana is big. I agree. That is fully late game. But think of having somebody discard their hand, draw that many cards, and then somebody discarding those cards and drawing that amount again, and then you get to play those cards. That's a big swing for double triggering on it. So more than likely, I just don't have that many small creatures. Custody Soul Caller gets cut. I'm not bringing back any creatures in this deck at this point. Akiri still makes sense. That's a double trigger with equipment. I got enough equipment. I got like 8, a couple of searches there. I dig it. I'm fine with that. ETB, yeah. Starfield. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less. I had plenty of enchantments. Like, I dig that. I'm cool. Enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on Starfield. Yeah. Bishop of Binding is some removal and can get pretty big. And that's where, like, that artifact can make it really nice with the double trigger. We'll have to see where that removal is. Vengeful Ancestor is goading. Armored Sky Hunter, totally. Ryu, yeah. Mangara's some good draw. Fumoko, Zerta. Abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less, which is, I like the clues. I don't have a lot of clue stuff anymore. I don't know how many that actually affects. Then target creature can't block this turn. So that might be something. Goading, Monarch, Indestructible, Goading. Let's see how many cards this actually affects total. So we got rid of not a lot. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Doesn't affect that. 7. Let's see here. 7. These are enchantments. So 8. Are these activated? No. Abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less. So that could be reduced. I'm done with that. That seems right. Mirage Mirror for free. That's not too bad. Okay, so it'd be 1. So it doesn't reduce it down, but 1. That doesn't get reduced. That doesn't get reduced. That would be a triggered ability. That is an activated ability. All right. So to Zer to make the cut here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Questionable. All right, let's put these into their categories again. Let's see where we're at. 10 minutes. I don't think I'm going to want to quit at that second hour mark, but it's not going to go to 3 hours for sure. It'll be like 2.5, somewhere in there. All right, so that would be the attack incentives. Let's see here. Ramp. That's that good stuff. Equipment is kind of a little bit of both, but that's card advantage. Drawing, ramp. Put that at protection, removal, ramp. That's goading. Put that in draw. Multiple attacks. Card advantage. Goading. That's removal. Mana. That's draw. Mana. Technically protection for me. Yeah. Extra attacks. We have that down there. All right. Elder Brain is draw. That is recursion on plenty of things in this deck. Consider that. Card advantage. Protection. That's draw. Ramp. Protection. Goading. Damage. Protection. Boom. Goading. Turn. Goading. Removals. Attacks. Protections. Draw. Ramp. Protection. That is ramp. That is going to be also ramp. All right, starting to look a bit better there. There's some draw there. We'll attach that. And that's a mana bit. All right, let's reread these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We could afford to maybe cut 2. Let's see what we can do there. I mean, that's not really one. Kind of is. Like if I went and got Dockside. Oh, that pull to play Dockside is crazy. It speeds things up so much. Because if I did that, I'd probably kick out Loyal Warhound. That could be a reductionist idea. Each permanent card in your starting deck has activated abilities. Is that what I can do? Maybe. I think I need the creatures. I'm going to kick out map? Question mark? I don't know if I like that idea. It's kind of right there at the 3 mark, though. All right. Down. Let's look at any sort of card advantage. This is weak. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'd have to add probably 2. I want to add 2 at least. Give me a second there. Let's see here. Might be why I don't have a dock side. I don't have an extra dock side. All right, let's find. Just some simple move forward draw spells. All right. Let's see if we can. Let's see here. Let's get that. Let's see here. Cross. I have a specific card that I'm going for. Let's see here. Zoom. Another one, huh? Let's see here. Oh, that could be. Would that be worth it though? Okay, until end of turn, Predator's Hour. Until end of turn, creatures you control have menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of that library face down. You may look at and play those cards as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana. So that's card advantage. That's a little bit of. I don't have a lot of creatures, like I was kind of saying, but I don't need a ton from that, right? We're in the 3s. What the fuck? Let's not do hour. Okay, let's do. Let's see here. Just my random stuff that I gotta get my shit put away. As the battlefield crit. 3 or less. That's not gonna happen. Shadowy Prophecy could work. Protection Racket. Kind of need just like cheap stuff. Painful Truth might be right up there. That's 3 for 3. 3 mana, 3 life, 3 cards. Kind of like that idea. Nope. Hour. Let's see here. All right. Oh, that's my last one, huh? All right. That's there too. Let's see here. Is there anything else that can draw me cards? I don't think so. All right. So we added 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. A lot of high casting in my card advantage section. So I can see that being lacking. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, we'll leave that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So technically 3. Can I cut that 3? Is there anything too high? 1s, 2s. I don't hate it. Let's cut Knight 18, 17, 16. All right, we're at 17 for mana. Kind of need that anyway. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Enduring Angel probably is the one that doesn't fit the most, but it's sweet. But I need 18, 17, 16, 15 cuts. Let's cut it. Should be 14. All right, Power Matrix. I still like that idea. It gets the stuff through. Lightning Greaves becomes problematic when I'm trying to target Isshin a lot more. We'll cut Greaves just to avoid that targeting issue. So down 1. Shield by Faith is still good. Nice. Trample. Copies. Yeah. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oof, that is some bad removal. I hope we all know that. That I'm not even going to consider cutting anything there. All right, we have basically 2 towards Isshin, 1 for Godo. I'm okay with the combo in here. I'm okay with it. My 2 cute cards, Quenchable Fury, Mirage Mirror. I think they can do some damage. War's Toll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't hate any of these. Most of this is goading. Goad everything, goad everything. Goad specific things. And then entice people to attack. Miko, War's Toll. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Parasitic Impetus technically doesn't matter. Like it's not goading. I guess it goads, but it's not. This is getting me mana. This is they lose 2, I gain 2. I kind of like it. I still like it. It's attacking. It's attack triggers. Oh boy. All right. I think what I'm going to do is CMC. And then we'll give it a count. And then we'll probably be done for the night. All right. And done for the bit. All right. Let's see where we are. 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. Bring that up a little bit more. 6s, 7s, 4s. That 4 spot's pretty thick. And that's the worried spot for me, in my opinion. That 4 spot is very worrisome. Like I'm just going to get stuck at 4. That's what I see happening. Threes, I don't mind. I don't care if I get stuck at 3 because normally you can draw out of that. 6, 5, 4. Blast off. Da 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 do. 1, 3s. It's just higher. It has to be 5. 4, 4. That's higher. 7, 3, 4, 1, 6, 4, 4, 3, and 3. All right, top down. Let's see where we go. I like these, like goading, getting a lot of card advantage. Like just one attack goes a pretty far way. for as long as they remained exiled. So this doesn't have to be in play, I don't think. So big hitters there at the top. I'm happy with that. We've reduced the amount of 6 mana drops. So Atali, Sun Titan, Argentum Armor. That makes a ton of sense for me. I like those quite a bit. Oh, along with Godo at that 6 spot. Crown of Doom, Vandal Blast, Kazool, and Karazikar. Those all look really good to me as well. So I'm happy with that top end. The question is how am I getting there? 4 spot is thick, 3 spot and 2 spot I'm happy with. But all right, Ryu, Seize the Day, Vengeful, Disrupt Decorum, War's Toll is pretty damn good. Famiku, Power Matrix. Pretty happy with that too. Bishop Binding is removal, I guess. That's going to be the problem. Like, I just don't have any removal. I'm in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble in that front. But we'll keep it for now. Emberwild Captain, yeah. Blood Reckoning, Revenge of Ravens, Marchesa's Decree, Keeper of the Cord is just going to keep me in the game. I can see if I cut this, like, just getting in trouble. Search Supremacist, Mangara, Armored Skyhunter. Yeah, I like them all. The only one I don't really like is Bishop of Binding, but it can get huge. And it removes something. Rajmir, Unquenchable Fury. I like that. I have a lot of auras, but like turning that into equipment potentially is really nice. Bothersome, Shiny, the Impetus, Cloak, Two-Handed Axe I like. Bastion Protector, do I care about that? Probably do. Probably do. That indestructible part is pretty big. Wear and Tear, Chaos Warp, Miasma, Worm's Prayer, Fable, Zerta, Akiri, Cunning, and Painful Truths. I'm not cutting much. All right, yeah, definitely have slowed down and gonna be done after this, after a count. Swiftfoot, Fists, Thunderous Might, Agents of the Shadow Thieves, I dig that. Rip Apart, yeah, Sword, Loyal Warhound, Starfield Mystic, Ornithopter Paradise, Guild Artisan, Mind Stone, Ramp. Fighter class might be nice. Tome of Legends. Yep, I like it all. That one spot. Yep, I don't hate any of that. All right, yep. Give it a count. 1, 2, 3. 30. 30. 31. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not too bad. 10 over. I need to find 10 cuts eventually. You don't have to watch me suffer through all that kind of. So I appreciate you all listening, watching, commenting, and it's all helpful. And again, give it a like, subscribe if you already aren't. We do giveaways on the podcast. We play games. I think we're entertaining. I understand that I'm biased, but that's okay. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.